Never mind, I'll find someone like you. Ooh, I wish nothing but the best for you too. Not two as in TWO, but two as in TOO as in also. You get what I'm saying? Anyways, if you don't get it, well, hello and welcome back to Nellyville, the podcast. This is your host, Chanel number 5, and so glad that you have come back to join me once again for another episode. And not just any episode, but the finale. Not finale, but the finale, okay? You got to put a little RuPaul on it. The finale of season 2. Yes, we have come to the end, you guys, of 2 full seasons of this full podcast. Yes. Hello. How you doing? So this is episode 10 of season 2 of Nellyville, the podcast, and I'm having so much fun, and also I'm very sad that this is the end of the season. But what's keeping me going is that we are going to come back for season 3. Did you think that I was going to end it now? Did you think that it was going to be discontinued? No, we're going to come back. So by this being the last episode, we're going to have a lot of fun. And then season 3 will be back before you friggin' know it. Okay? So, if this is your first time tuning in, go ahead and binge watch the first season and the rest of season 2. You know what I'm saying? And then, make sure you come and follow me on all of my other socials so that you are well aware of when season 3 is coming back. Now, I know you're probably like, Chanel, when season 3 coming back? Well, you got to come follow me on all of my other socials so that you know when it's coming back. That's how that works. You know what I'm saying? If you give all the information, then there's no reason for y'all to come find me on the other socials. You get what I'm saying? Come find me. Turn on post notifications, follow me, add me, subscribe, all these things. And then when I announce dates, you're going to know. Because you're going to be in tune. You're going to be a part of the family. You know what I'm saying? That's how you do that. Anyways, I'm so glad that you guys are back for another week. And once again, last week, like I mentioned in my last podcast, if I sound a little weird, it is because I have moved. Yes, I have gotten a house. Hello. And, it's going to take a second for me to get adjusted and figure out, just to get settled in, to get everything where it needs to be, to adjust the audio for not only podcasts, but for video, because, I do the YouTubes. I do the TikToks. I do the TikTok lives. I've gone live on Instagram a few times. I'm more partial to the TikTok live, but that's another story for another day. You know what I'm saying? So just bear with me. Y'all can hear me. You know what I'm saying? Use your imagination. You know what I'm saying? That. Anyways, so use your imagination, and after a while, it'll be a little less ghetto. But you know what I'm saying? Anyways, so let's just get into our topics for the day. So for this final episode of the season, we are going to stick to the rapid fire multi-topic episode podcast that you have become accustomed to for season 2. So, if you kind of like this format, if you like the multi-topics for, for each episode, let me know. If you want to go back to the kind of more of the season 1 vibe of kind of the one topic and, delving into every part of that one topic, we can do that too. If you want a mixture of both, oh Lord have mercy. You'd think I know how to talk by now. If you want a mixture of both, we can also make that happen. Come find me on the socials. Leave me a little message. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or another platform that allows you to leave a review and a comment, leave me a review and a comment, and then I'll know what you want. You know what I'm saying? All right, so with all that being said, let's just get it right into the first topic. So what I want to start with today is something that I saw on, of course, YouTube. Y'all know I live on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? So there is a YouTuber, Lorray, and we've talked about him a few times on this podcast. And also on my YouTube channel, I have dedicated videos, or at least one video that I can think of that is about Lorray. And Lorray is a YouTuber, TikToker. He's been around for quite some time. He's very popular. And, you know, there was a video of his that he's made recently about, he met someone through, like a VR video game. Like, so VR stands for virtual reality, right? Oh, Lord, my voice over here cracking and doing all these things. Okay, so there's VR reality. So I'm pretty sure most of us are familiar, right? VR reality stands for virtual reality. And, well, I guess VR reality is redundant, but y'all get what I'm saying. So virtual reality, and it's usually pertaining to video games, right? So Lorray, this YouTuber, he was doing this VR situation on a game called Roblox, I believe. And he met this person and they played the game together. He met this person online, right? It was someone else. It was a completely separate entity that he had never met before. They played this game online. They played together. They hit it off. They became friends. And they hit it off so much that they decided to meet each other in real life. Off the game. And look, Lorray is a full-grown adult. This person that he met is a full-grown adult. And adults can do what they want to do. Kind of the thing that I took issue with is that Lorray, while he is an adult himself, he has a very young audience. Very young. And if you haven't kind of put together where I'm going with this, is that this is a YouTuber, this is an influencer of very young people. And it's called an influencer for a reason. Right? So when you have a popular YouTuber, influencer, celebrity who's doing these things that can be potentially really dangerous and deadly, it becomes alarming. Okay, so to kind of just give a gist of the video. So Lorray is, every now and then he'll do these videos where he films himself playing particularly this game called Roblox. And if you're not familiar with Roblox, I encourage you to get familiar with it, especially if you have children, because a lot of parents have found that Roblox, which is supposed to be a children's game, is not very child friendly. So if you have kids, if you have teenagers, and you're not familiar with the game Roblox, I encourage you to do your research and figure out what it is, and kind of get familiar with what some of the parents and things are saying about this game, because you may change your mind about allowing your child to play this game. So Lorray does a video where he's playing the game, which is not new for him, but the new part is that he met someone online and they decide to meet each other in real life. Now, I know with dating apps and just kind of other things where it's, look, it used to be a time and day where at the beginning stages of internet, and even pre-internet, parents will be like, don't talk to strangers, don't give your real information online, be careful who you are talking to online. It's kind of it was once upon a time a general consensus that, it's the internet, but you still need to treat people like strangers. Stranger danger. And all of these things. But then you have apps like the dating apps and social media that kind of makes us feel a little more connected and a little more comfortable with meeting someone online and then meeting them on purpose. Sometimes you're buying stuff online and then you agree to meet people in person to swap cash for product, for merchandise, for resale and all of these things. But at the end of the day, you never know who you were talking to or communicating with on the other side of a computer or on the other side of a phone via text or via call. So if you haven't picked up what I'm putting down, by Lavray being one of the biggest YouTubers and biggest influencers, and he's showcasing the situation where it's not even a dating app. It's not even Instagram. It's not even Twitter. It is a video game, right? And, I mean, anything can be dangerous, even if it is a dating app. Because you just don't know who's on the other side of that online situation, right? Lavray has such a young, very young audience. Now he has adult viewers too, but let's keep it real. He has a young audience, and by him making a video and putting it out and showing how he met someone on a video game and he decided to go meet them in real life, I just don't know. I just don't see how that's a good idea. Because we all know, we've heard the stories, we've read the news articles about these kids. They're meeting people. These kids can play these video games on these headsets, and the beautiful thing is that you can be connected to everyone around the world. The scary thing is that you can be connected to everyone around the world. And I just feel like by Lavray displaying a situation where he met someone online, they connected and they met, and he showed where they met, and the guy that he met seemed like to be a really cool guy, and then they hit it off. But I feel like it paints this false narrative of the odds of that happening are very slim. Call me paranoid, call me a hater, call me whatever you want, but you don't know. And I just fear that if these young kids, these young people who see that, Lavray met this person on Roblox, a video game, and they met up and they had a great day, and then Lavray had this person come to their house and all of these things. It kind of says to the young people that, hey, if the vibe is right with someone you meet online, it is okay for you to meet with them in person. It is okay with you to invite them to your home or for you to go to their home and all of these things. And I just feel like it's a no for me. And I just would really like for you all to weigh in on what you think about that. Do you think I'm being paranoid? Do you see where I'm coming from? And I also have to add, I don't think that Lavray was coming from a place of negligence or corruption. I don't. I think that it was just something that young people do and they don't think about the repercussions or who they are reaching. I think that it was supposed to be a cute video and a cute moment and a fun story, and it was. But I just wonder, what do the young people think about that? His younger audience, his main demographic. Because I don't think it is a 31-year-old woman like myself. It's his main demographic. I just find that hard to believe. I imagine, without looking up statistics, I think that his main demographic is going to be what would you say? Probably 15 to 24-year-olds? Somewhere around that. I don't know. It's just scary, guys. So let me know what you think about that. Okay? So, let's move on into something else. A little, well, I can't even say lighter, because this is kind of jacked up too. So the second thing I want to talk about today is Mariah Carey has recently been sued for, I think, like $20 million or something. Look up the exact number, but it's like a crazy amount of money, which is Mariah Carey. So, like, what's $20 million to her? You know what I'm saying? Like 50 cents. You know what I'm saying? But Mariah Carey is being sued for the song All I Want for Christmas. So apparently there is a songwriter who is claiming that he wrote the song for someone else who was originally not released, and that and this person or group or songwriter, this whatever, is this entity, let's call it an entity, is claiming that Mariah stole this song. They're claiming that Mariah and her team or whatever stole this song, All I Want for Christmas, which is pretty much has become the Christmas anthem, especially over the last few years. And now they are suing for profits. And a lot of you are probably like, well, why now? All I Want for Christmas came out eons ago and it's become very popular, especially over the recent years. So if the song had been stolen, why all this time later? Why, you know what I mean? And the entity, the songwriter or whoever who was claiming that Mariah and her team stole the song, they're claiming that they very well knew what they were doing, that they just straight up stole the song. And I'm just like, awful if that happened. But at the same time, it's like, you always have, I don't know, everything has to be questioned. You just question, why now? You know what I mean? And even now, it's just kind of one of those things, like, even if this person wins, which, like I said, they're suing for, like, millions of dollars, right? I think it was, like, 20 million. If they can get that or anywhere close to that, I guess it would be worth the lawsuit. But at the end of the day, it's always going to be known as Mariah. She's always going to be known as the Queen of Christmas. And maybe this person has tried to pursue legal ramifications or legal action, and it wasn't successful until now. But yeah, that's what's going on with Mariah. But all I gotta say is, baby, if it's true, it ain't, I don't know. I don't know the exact numbers of how much Mariah is worth, but I feel like even if she had to be like, here's your little 20 million, I feel like that wouldn't hurt her. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how much Mariah is worth, but the way they play All I Want for Christmas alone, minus the hundreds of thousands of singles that she has released, the hit singles, I feel like that alone is kind of like, whatever. Because Mariah is just that girl. She's that girl, you know what I'm saying? So, keep track of that. But let me know what y'all think about that and this person coming forward all this time later. Because, come on, think about how long ago All I Want for Christmas came out and how big it's become. And she did a remix with Justin Bieber. What was that, like 5-6 years ago? Like, it just really makes you, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a cash grab. It's like, now you see all the money she has and you have a little money to press charges and now you want your money. Look, I'm not saying that her team didn't steal the song, because it happens all the time, honestly. But it makes you question the timing. Now, speaking of a cash grab, I want to talk about kind of a more recent years, cash grab that I have noticed, and that a lot of people have noticed. And that is the Pride Month cash grab. Pride Month. Okay, so if you don't know what Pride Month is, it is Pride Month is the celebration of LGBTQIA plus rights, mostly gay and lesbian rights, but it's the whole LGBT community, right? So the month of June is Pride Month, right? Just like you have Black History Month, you have Asian Pacific Heritage Month, you have Women's History Month, you have Autism History Month. Every month has at least one awareness or heritage theme, right? So when I say cash grab, what I mean is you have people or companies or celebrities who engage in kind of cultural blow-ups just for the sake of making profit or making money. So before I get into Pride Month cash grabs, because I do specifically want to talk about that, another example would be the Black History Month kind of situation. So you have companies like, let's just pick on Target for example. Now look, don't get me wrong, I love Target, you know what I'm saying? Target, that's my store. I love Target. Anything I can get from Target, I'm going to Target, period. But also, Target is one of those companies who, when Black History Month rolls around, at least for the last couple years, if not more, they do this big, elaborate Black History Month, extravaganza, okay? They have kids' clothes, they have adult clothes, they have this merchandise that is promoting and embraces Black History Month. Now, that's not a bad thing. The issue is that they make a big deal out of it specifically for Black History Month. And from what I can tell, at least where I live, it is not a consistent thing throughout the year. And to me, that screams cash grab. Just how you have, a bunch of influencers, and you don't really see it that much anymore, but think back a few years ago, you had every YouTuber on the freaking planet was coming out with a makeup palette. You would call that a cash grab because it would be YouTubers who weren't even in the beauty community, but they came out with a palette. They came out with makeup. They came out with lip gloss or eyelashes or something cosmetic, and they just weren't even in that. And then they would come out with the palette or whatever makeup they were coming out with, and then that would be the only one that they did, and they would go away. That's what we call a cash grab. When you have someone who's popular, who dives into an industry that they are not known for, they collect their check, and then they go on back to whatever it was they were doing or on to something else. Now, some people feel like, well, there's nothing wrong with a cash grab. Like, if you can make money off your name, make money off your name however you can make it. Yeah, for sure. Collect your coin. Absolutely. But when you start doing things like doing a cash grab for Black History Month or for June, which is Pride Month, that's when it starts to get a little jacked up. when you see companies treating awareness months or heritage months like they do holidays, it feels schemy to me. Like, why can't you as a company or you as a business, as a person, support, this heritage or this movement or this awareness cause all year round? And then you see a lot of companies and businesses and people jump on the bandwagon once they see that it is profitable. And and the reason why I bring up Pride Month, because like I said, June is Pride Month, okay? And so you see a lot of companies, and this year it just seems like every year it seems like it gets more and more ridiculous and more everybody wants to jump on the bandwagon of this thing. Now, it's great that people want to raise awareness and be a part of the cause for equal rights for any community, and specifically for the LGBT community, right? But when it's like clearly a mockery, like for example, okay, so Burger King has come out with something for Pride Month where they have they're having a menu special. Now I don't know about all the things, but here's the one that I saw. So they have a burger special where you can order, I think it's a Whopper with 2 top buns or 2 bottom buns. So like, you know how you get a burger and you know how you put a burger bun and there's like a top bun, especially with Burger King, you have the one with sesame seeds and then you have a bottom bun, right? And they're different. So their special is you can order a burger with 2 top buns and 2 bottom buns. And I know you're probably like, what's that have to do with like gay pride, right? Well, if you're not familiar with the gay community, okay, so in the gay community, you have, they usually categorize each other with being either tops, bottoms, or verse, meaning you can either be a top or a bottom. Now, tops and bottoms, a top is, and a bottom is, if you don't know from how I explained it, please go look it up. I'm trying to keep this family friendly and not be too vulgar. You know what I'm saying? So, Burger King has decided, we're going to release these burgers with 2 sesame seed buns or 2 with 2 bottom buns. Okay, so, I mean, look, it's all fun and great, blah, 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 but it's kind of like, come on, don't make it gimmicky. You know what I mean? And then you have mayo. Yeah, like y'all mayonnaise, right? The brand like mayo, like I guess like Kraft. Is it Kraft mayo or whatever? So mayo changed the M to a G to say gayo. The mayonnaise squirts out in a rainbow, and at the top of the, above where it would normally say mayo, and they changed it to a G and it says gayo. Now it says something like, we're so gayo. You know what I'm saying? And then it squirts out. Like, that's cute and clever and all, but is this something that's going to be available all year? Like, do y'all see what I'm saying? Like, these companies and these businesses and these restaurants and these brands are coming out with all these cute and clever gimmicky things for the month of whatever the month awareness or heritage is, and then that's it, and then it goes away. Now look, I know that promoters and businesses and people and restaurants and all these things need to make money, and they're a business. At the end of the day, they're a business and they do what they can to make money. Now, it's bad enough that they go out of their way to sell holiday stuff a month before the holiday comes. Like anymore now, you see Christmas stuff in stores at freaking October. You know what I'm saying? You see Thanksgiving stuff in stores and, in freaking June. You know what I mean? And that's bad enough. And I know that everybody has a bottom line and everybody wants to make money and all these things. But when you're talking about a cause like Black History Month, Women's History Month, Pride with LGBT rights, and Asian Pacific Heritage Month, and these things is a minority people, a marginalized people who have really suffered and who struggled every day to have just kind of basic rights, and you're figuring out, what campaign can we use to make a lot of money? It just seems slimy. And once again, I need to know, what do y'all think about that? Do you think that business is just business, or do you think it's grimy? Do you think that these businesses should try harder to offer these specials and this merchandise and this food year round? Because I think that they should work harder to incorporate it year round, because I would respect it more if they went out of their way to have Black History Month or Women's History Month or Gay Pride or Pride, month, Autism Month year round. I would like, okay, that's really cool, versus them just having it during the specified month. You know what I'm saying? That's enough. But look, we can talk all day on that. So, speaking of money grab, there is a girl on TikTok who has been grabbing money under her appliances, under her cabinets, under all of these things, okay? So, there's this girl that I saw on TikTok, and basically just that of what I've described. So, she moved into this new apartment, and, make long story short, she was cleaning up and doing these things. And while she's cleaning, she finds money under her cabinets, under her washer and dryer, under her refrigerator. And she just keeps sweeping and sweeping. And the more she digs and delves under the stuff, the more money she finds. Can you imagine just cleaning up your home and you find like money? And I mean, she's finding hundreds of dollars under her stuff. Now I was like, girl, you don't be telling people you found this stuff, because what if the people that lived there before gonna try to come back and try to get what either they hid under there or what they realized they didn't have under there? Number one. Number two, you letting all these people know that you're finding money. Baby, don't make yourself a target. And I commented under one of her posts, because she's made several posts about the situation of her finding money under, in her apartment, under, refrigerators and cabinets and whatnot. And I was just like, okay, was this like a stripper party or like whatever? If y'all want to know the exact girl and the exact video, come find me and I will send it to you. I sent some other things too, but more or less I let the girl know, like, girl, keep this a secret. And also because she was finding confetti too, along with, and it was singles. So I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, was this like a stripper party? And somebody was like, they were just like throwing ones, and because she has hardwood floors. And I'm thinking somebody had like a stripper party or something, and the money, or a birthday party, and the money and the confetti slid up under, the openings of the apartment. And now it's there. Like, y'all get what I'm saying? kudos to her for finding the money, but baby, be careful what you letting people know what's on this apartment. Somebody might come back and try to be like, girl, give me my money. Y'all know how people are. Y'all know how people are. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, kudos to her. And also, I guess, y'all, hey, if you live in an apartment or a house where somebody lived before, go ahead. Go check your cabinets and refrigerator. Check underneath. Yeah, you might find a couple dollars. Like this girl did. I'm just saying. Anyways, okay, so let's move on to the next thing. Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk about is a little less lighthearted. And, it's just it's kind of a full circle moment. Okay, so you have this influencer, YouTuber, TikToker, whatever, Jeff Wittek. Okay, Jeff Wittek. For those of you who are not familiar, he used to be heavily affiliated with a YouTuber called named David Dobrik. And a few months ago, or several months ago, rather, David Dobrik is like the leader of like the Vlog Squad, and he's a very popular YouTuber. And Jeff Wittek is kind of going through some legal situations with David Dobrik because of a prank gone wrong, and that resulted in Jeff having like almost going blind, losing an eye. Like they did this prank thing. It was crazy. Y'all look it up, but that's not what we're talking about today. But the thing is that Jeff really went out of his way to defame and to really drag David Dobrik through the mud. And now, in the most recent events, Jeff Wittek on his podcast, now he is under fire and at risk of being completely canceled because Jeff and his co-hosts and the guests and stuff that were on this episode, they made fun of people who are autistic and who also have Down syndrome. Now, I will say Jeff himself didn't necessarily mock or make fun of autistic people or people with Down syndrome, but it is his podcast, and the people who he had on there who did make fun of them, Jeff did not edit out. And so therefore I feel like you condoned it, you accepted it, you for whatever reason thought that it was okay for you to leave that into your show and your YouTube video and your podcast, and you uploaded it. And it's just very disgusting. And I know that, and I hate when people are like, oh, it's so disgusting. Like when they're talking about people's actions, oh, I'm so disgusted. Like they were so disgusting. Like I hate when people do that because it's overused and it's usually not genuine. But Jeff went so hard out of his way to drag David Dobrik, just ruin his whole career. And Jeff was almost himself. What is the PC verbiage of? Because I don't think handicap is not the correct thing. Please forgive me, but Jeff almost lost his vision. He almost lost an eye because of an injury he endured during one of the vlogs with David Dobrik that Jeff consented to. But Jeff went on to do so many interviews and podcasts and make YouTube videos and documentaries about how David was such an awful person and all these things. And that's up for debate. and you can feel how you want to feel about that. But for someone who went so hard to try to ruin someone's career, Jeff didn't have enough sense to know that, you need to, don't make fun of people who are on the spectrum. Don't make fun of people who are born with disabilities and handicaps and all of these things. And I know handicap is not the PC saying that is normally used, but the proper terms are escaping me right now. So please forgive me if I'm offending anyone in their community or your family's community and friends community and in these things. I'm trying to figure out on what planet did you think that it was okay to have your guest. And if you want to see the clip, look it up. I'm just trying to figure out in 2022. And Jeff Wittick knows very well about cancel culture because it's exactly what you were trying to do to David Dobrik. For something that you consented to. But, that's neither here nor there. I'm trying to figure out on what God's green earth did you think that it was okay for you to make light and to make fun of people who are on the spectrum and people who have Down syndrome and think that was funny and think that it was cute and not edit it out. Like I said, Jeff was not necessarily the one who, but Jeff is the one who didn't edit it out of he could have edited those parts out and it could have been perfectly okay. Which to me, the whole episode was problematic because the whole episode of his podcast was, it was like called something like Testing My Friends for Autism. Which that alone is not problematic. It's not an issue if it's being done out of a genuine curiosity or to be helpful. But in this context, it was not. It was just something to do for content. And the whole thing, the whole premise of the episode just seemed just in poor taste, to say the least. And, I personally believe that this is a piece of karma coming back to him for trying to sue David Dobrik out of, what I'm saying, house and home, and trying to just ruin David Dobrik's career. And it's a full circle moment. And I just, look, I am one who advocates for comedians in the way that they are stifled at this point and in history. But, at the same time, there are some things that just are not funny anymore. And people are educated and people are aware. And the things that used to be okay, they just aren't okay anymore. And I think this is one of those times that it's full circle. That he tried to come for somebody that didn't need to be come for in the way that they were. And now he's getting his turn. So let me know what you think about that. Because I found that very interesting. And Jeff, I think you're getting a taste of your own medicine. That's what I think is happening here. You know what I'm saying? So, let's move on. Jeffree Star. Speaking of problematic influencers, YouTubers, blah, blah, blah. Jeffree Star. Look, y'all know I love me some Jeffree Star. I went to a Jeffree Star meet and greet. And, baby, you can't tell me nothing about no Jeffree Star. I love me some Jeffree Star. Jeffree is a great business model. He is and mogul. He's a great influencer in social media and just he's a creative. He's just great. He's just great. And one of his latest projects is he's actually selling yak meat. So, Jeffree Star moved from Calabasas, California and I think he's completely sold his. Oh, did y'all hear my doorbell? Oh, shoot. One second. Okay, sorry, I'm back. Okay, so for y'all, which it was no break at all. But anyways, it's funny that we were talking about eating yak meat and my food was delivered. So, haha. Anyways, so the latest adventure and endeavor that Jeffree has embarked on is selling yak meat. So he moved from his Calabasas home in California, and now he has a full, beautiful ranch in Wyoming, and where he is raising yaks. So he has some yaks that are his pets, but he has expanded and bought yaks for from how do you explain it, from pasture to plate. So for food, right? So he has some that are just his pets, and then he has bought yaks to be able to create food and to sell it. And so and if you are interested, Jeffree Star's yak meat is available online, or will be available online very soon. It is shipping all over the United States, and from the little bit that I know, yak meat is very healthy and has a lot of health benefits. So if you are someone who eats meat, definitely look into yak meat, whether it be Jeffree Star or someone else. I think that I'm going to try it. I mean, I love Jeffree, and I like that, obviously want to support him, but I am not vegan or vegetarian. I eat meat. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that I've ever had yak meat, but I'm very open to trying it. And what better way to start than with Jeffree Star? I mean, Jeffree is a multi-millionaire. He is filthy rich. And he is definitely one who is always engaging in different business ventures. So it only makes sense that this is his new one. He does not stay stagnant, and you have to be impressed with that. So congratulations, Jeffree Star, on your new business and your ongoing businesses as far as makeup and merchandise and all these things. And I think that is really cool. He preaches about how he learned about where your food comes from and how it's raised, and I just encourage everybody to learn about where your food is coming from, be it you being vegan, vegetarian, or having an all-American diet, or whatever. Just learn about where food comes from and how it goes. Not all meat. Some people don't want to eat meat because they feel like it's the industry is corrupt and animals are tortured and all these things, but sometimes that's not the case. Try to get organic things and all this stuff. Do research. You know what I'm saying? Also, know your body. Don't change your diet because of what someone else is doing. Do what is healthy and is sustainable for your own body. Hello. And so, that's what I love about Jeffree Star. We love you so much. But anyway, and then the last thing that I want to get into is Morgan Adams. Morgan Adams is the younger sister of Rylan Adams, and Rylan is the fiance, might as well say husband, of Shane Dawson. So Morgan, and it's not, this segment is not specifically about Morgan per se, but it opens up a broader topic of a really sad issue. Okay, so the good news is that Morgan has bought a property, a home, and a barn on a lot of land, almost a year ago. right? And that's really cool. That's great. The issue is that she has the home that she has purchased is unlivable. She wanted to do a lot of remodeling and a lot of um you know, upgrades and different things to the home, modifications and things. It was a home that already existed on the property, but she wanted to, modernize it. She had a vision for not only the home, but for the barn. And what Morgan has been running into, and check Morgan out. Morgan Adams on YouTube, Morgan's vlogs, and she's all over social media. She's awesome. She's very sweet. She's very like calm. If you just want something to watch and just kind of just cool, relaxed entertainment, I definitely recommend Morgan. But anyways, so back to what I was saying. So she upgrades his house and stuff. But anyways, the issue is that she is realizing that people do not respect women, do not respect young women, do not respect single people. She had this vision for this home. She obviously has the money to do it and all of these things. But unfortunately, the contractors and businesses and people that she has used have given her the runaround. They have straight up scammed her. And it's not unique to Morgan. And it raises a bigger issue of, unfortunately, in America, and I'm sure across the world, it is hard for women, females, it's hard for women to not be scammed in certain industries without male representation. So you talk about the car industry, mechanic industry, construction. These are well-known industries with people over a certain age that that as a woman you can't go without the risk of men, because these are very male-dominated industries. Music industry, film industry, any industry that is male-dominated, unfortunately, you run the risk as a female of being scammed, not respected, given the runaround. And Morgan is finding that out. She has parents, and I imagine that her parents, and especially her father, has stepped in and tried to say, hey, this is what needs to be done. Let me help you. But also Morgan strikes me as the type of person like, I'm independent. Let me do what I want to do. I know what I'm doing type of tease. And when I say type of tease, I don't mean tease per se. I just mean tease as in the aspect of I watch a lot of Drag Race and it's slang. Not like she's a tease. So I hate that she's having to go through this as a young woman, because the sad thing is that she knows what she wants. She has the money to pay for it, but because there is not a man, present, because she has no husband, and all of a sudden, people want to take advantage of her and do these things. And like I said, it's not exclusive to her. That it's just the way of the world. And it just made me want to speak on this. It is really jacked up that in 2022 that women still feel like they can't go get their oil changed alone, because these places, these mechanics and things want to do extra. It's a shame that a woman cannot get a house built or get renovations alone because men want to give them the runaround. I could tell you about someone else that I know who is, they're trying to, they are in the process of getting, they bought some land to have a farm for horses, and they're doing these things. And to have the type of the things that the structures and things that they want built on the property, it's a woman who has bought this land and who has bought this farm for these horses, and they paid half the money up front, which, it's normal. You pay half up front and you pay the rest when the job is done. That's very typical business structure there. And this woman has run into the issue of just the same as Morgan, given the runaround, until this woman that I'm speaking of is with the horse farm situation. All of a sudden, her husband gets on the phone, and all of a sudden, the contractors and the builders, they act like they know what they're doing. All of a sudden, they want to show up. All of a sudden, things are getting done on time. It makes no sense that a deep voice or a man has to be involved just to get things done and get things done correctly. And it just, in 2022, it just, we think we have come so far and we think that we have made so much progress, and then you hear about stories like this. And Morgan said herself that, the people, the contractors and things that she meets with or works with, they're always like, well, when you run the numbers past your husband, let us know what he says. Or they send her emails like, and this would be after she explicitly tells her, I'm not married. Like, this is just for me. Like, this is my home. I'm not married. Explicitly, she says that she tells them, these people, these things, and these men will still send her emails and text messages and things with saying, well, what did your husband have to say? Or let us know what your husband thinks. This... It's frustrating. On the other side of that, I will say, you have to be realistic. And this is where we are. Do I think that we can move past this and have a better situation in the future as far as being treated equally? I do. But for right now and where we are not in 100% equal situation. So if you are a young woman, if you are female presenting, okay, and you are doing anything concerning a car or a home or construction or a business, I'm sorry to tell you this, but I have to be a realist. For where we are right now in 2022, make sure you have a male figure around to ensure that you are not being taken advantage of and that you are getting your money's worth for whatever it is that you are trying to do. And I'm so sorry that is a step and a precaution that you have to take. But do not, for the sake of trying to prove a point, for the sake of trying to do everything on your own, don't do everything on your own. Because where we are still in a society that is male driven, and especially in certain industries. I'm so sorry, but you just need that male presence. So don't try to break the system or prove a point and end up spending a lot more money or having a lot more heartache than is necessary. Because that's just where we are right now. Men and everyone else for the future, let's figure out a way how we can get equal, treatment across all, industries. Specifically construction and vehicle mechanic industries, okay? Yeah, hopefully Morgan, I hope that you get your house soon. I love that what you were trying to do. I love your vision. I love that you picked a property and you have a vision for your home and you're trying to do this room. I think that that's great because Morgan is so young. This is a young woman in her 20s, and I think that it says a lot to young girls. I like what she's doing because it sends a message of you can achieve your dreams without a man. And I'm not coming from a toxic feminist mindset of I don't need no man to do that. No, it's not that. But in so much of history and still in present day in so many places around the world, nothing can be done without a man. Women for so long, and still to this day, had to follow behind a man if you wanted the things that made you happy. So for young women like Morgan, who they're entrepreneurs and they're self-made, she's damn near a millionaire. I'm just gonna go ahead and say she's damn near a millionaire. I mean, she's got a lot of money, and she did it all on her own, and she's still going to school. Because here's another thing. You have influencers and YouTubers and stuff that make all this money and they don't ever talk about going to school. But it's nice to see someone who became very wealthy, very young, and they're still pursuing an education. Morgan is just a great role model. So, bless her heart. I hope that she gets her dream home soon. I'm sure that she will. And I'm glad that she's speaking about, the obstacles that she's running into, and I like that she's being open and honest and being positive about it. So let us pray for Morgan Adams that she gets all the things that she deserves. Awesome. Yay, I love you so much. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and wrap up this podcast because we've been sitting over and doing, you know what I'm saying? So this is This is episode 10 of season 2. And I know last week we didn't end with the musica because, the move and all these things. And of course, what do we do when we end every episode? We end with a little musica, tell y'all what to go listen to and this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Da, 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 da. So this week, I'm going to do the same thing that I did in the last episode of the last season, which is I'm going to recommend myself. Call it narcissistic, call it stuck up, call it conceited, call it self-absorbed, call it whatever you want. Okay, so I'm gonna recommend me. Go ahead and check out Chanel No. 5 Sounds on YouTube, and while you're over there, go ahead and check out my main channel, Nellyville. That's Nellyville with a Y, Nelyvyle. Nellyville. Well, shit, 2 Y's. Well, shit. Yeah, going. And I'm so glad that you guys joined me today. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, anecdotes, epiphanies about any of the topics that we talked about today, go ahead and reach out to me on any social media platform of your choice. Like I said, I recommend me, go listen to my music. And I'm just so excited. I'm so happy for you guys. I feel like there is a shift in the universe. Anybody else feel it? Just me? It can't be just me. So we are starting anew. And this has been fun. We're going to take a little break. We take a little break between seasons around here. But I will be back before you know it. And in the meantime, I will still be posting every week on YouTube. And will be going live on TikTok. So, you know what I'm saying? If you miss me that much, you know what I'm saying? Come find me there. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I love you so much. And, I was gonna do a Shane Dawson sign. I love you so much. Goodbye. But that kind of works better for YouTube. But anyways, I'm rambling because I don't want to let you guys go. I'm just kidding. Anyways, y'all take care. Y'all be good. Do something positive. Tell somebody that you love them. To give somebody a compliment. And I'll be back before you know it on Nellyville the podcast. Okay, love you so much again. Bye.
Yeah, I'm on my Miley. I'm the best to ever have me. You learn if you say you're trying to find me. Tell the truth, you messed around and lost me. Said I'm gone, I'm out of her trust. Summer 22, I'm stepping out there. Social blade, self-made. This ain't no new Nelly, it's the best Nelly. And yes, I'm like a bird, a nigga fly away.